Every time I hear people speak about Katt Williams and his situation and everything he's going through or that he's exposed in 2024, I think about the times that they were sitting back and I was trying to explain to people that, hey, Katt Williams, they putting him in jail for no reason, really. And I remember when I used to try to explain that to people, people would say, oh, yeah, he's going crazy. I heard he went off in Target and I heard that he got arrested again. Why would he keep getting arrested if he ain't did nothing? And why would they be after him? He ain't really nobody important to the point where they should be after him. And a lot of stuff he's saying, I just don't understand, but it's funny. Now, when you look back at it, all that stuff has changed now. I told people, I seen that it was the same thing with him was going on with DMX. I was like, why is DMX always in the court and in jail every day? Like he just can't control himself outside in the real world. When I know this man has sat down and read scripts and everything and sat down and remember scripts and movies, went out and played his part in movies and everything else. He got enough control, self-control to be able to go do movies and everything else, film and know his roles and everything else. But for some reason in the real world, he can't live his own life for some reason. I'm like, that just don't make sense. And the media always have tried to, the media never comes out and say, man, you know what, all that news we put out the last 15 years, it's been wrong. We've been clout chasing. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been clout chasing off Katt Williams' name. They've been clout chasing off his name. Putting him in jail, taking all kind of pictures, making it seem like it's worse than what it is. Then when you look at the DMX situation, they put him in jail every 5 minutes. Called a man a drug addict until he left this earth. Still call him a drug addict, saying that he overdosed on drugs. All the celebrities we had in history, but for some reason, the only guy that overdosed on drugs is the black ones that they try to say these days. It's either the rappers, it's overdosing, that's it. And a couple of actors and actresses. But other than that, they're just saying, oh yeah, it's the rappers, the black rappers, they always overdosing, blah, 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 blah. For some reason, Eminem ain't never overdosed on nothing. But he'll tell you how he relapsed and he took this and he couldn't live without taking these pills and he had these mental issues. But he's not a person who's constantly being arrested or locked up. For some reason, he got all the self-control in the world. But when it comes to Katt Williams and guys like DMX, nah, the media just try to paint them out to be a certain person. So just watch out where you get your news from these days, because these people are repeating lies still to this day, and they're not going to stop. So that's something that's always going on. It's going to continue to go on. But a lot of people going to be smart enough to realize that? Not exactly. So that's going to be part of the problem. But Katt Williams, yeah, people look at him as correct today because of one interview, but before that, he wasn't looked at as a person who was telling the truth about a lot of different things. He tried to give this same interview to Fat Joe. Speaking of him, he tried to give this interview to Fat Joe, and Fat Joe was doing this Jopra stuff. His little Instagram live interviews with celebrities. Katt Williams tried to give him the same interview, and he's like, oh, no, Katt, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that, Katt. I wonder why he did that. I guess I already know he in the good old boys club with DJ Khaled and the rest of these people, allegedly. But I already know they in the club. I know where they getting their money from. But this whole situation is just weird because it's like we're going to end up having another Katt Williams, another this, another that, somebody similar to him in this situation. And it's just going to get overlooked. You got to do a whole interview with Shay Shay for 4 or 5 hours explaining yourself to actually get everybody to understand. At the age of what, 50-something? Got to be like 50-something. So this is like, why does this man have to go through all this to even? But at the same time, I think about DMX. I'm like, he had to go through it. And people still don't understand what he's went through in his career. They looking at it like, oh, well, you know, that's just DMX. It is what it is. And that's crazy, man. It's crazy to me. When I see certain things happen, I'm like, wow. This is really how they gonna do certain things. They really gonna go through with it like this. But Katt Williams, you know, he's not the only celebrity to go through this type of stuff. There's plenty of them that have. that still is going through it right now, being accused of certain things. But this man was actually taken to jail immediately. The story put up the same night. Like, this is way worse than these other situations. Like, the other situations, dudes is just getting sued and everything else. Katt Williams is getting taken to jail the same night, over and over and over and over and over and over. Then you have people on radio shows making fun of him getting arrested and locked up and how was jailed and everything else. So, the whole industry was, they was all in on it, making him a big joke, laughing at him. They can easily do that to you. Even though you're a comedian, they can still make people laugh at you even when you're not telling jokes. But that's all I got.